Live, 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 Uziel's live for you to join along. Live, 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 Uziel's live for you to join along. What's up, everybody? We are live, just double checking on the sound and how we're sounding today. Okay, I think we're good. All right. Welcome, everybody, for another Sphera edition of Sunday Reaction, since we can't do concerts or music. So we are going to do an extra live stream aside for Tuesdays or Wednesdays, special for Sphera. So, as you guys know, I usually go into the live streams watching long forms of content, and Sphera, it's mostly the interviews or longer episodes of whatever it is that are Sphera safe that have to do with Jewish music, because that's what the live streams are for, to talk about Jewish music. So today we are going to react to an interview with Avraham Fried, where he was in a Derher podcast called Amongst the Hasidim. So it's going to be an interesting podcast. I think the last interview I did, a reaction of an interview I did of Avraham Fried was 2 years ago. And this time it's going to be interesting because it's not just, forgot to put the comment section. There we go. It's not just any interview. It's also with Derher and with Amongst the Hasidim. So it's going to be more of a Hasidish a focus type of interview. Excuse me. But also it's Avraham Fried and it's Jewish music, and I love it. So please put in your comments below so I could give you guys a shout out, answer any questions in between the interview. A few minutes here, a few minutes there. I'll go into the chat. And that's the main part of the live stream, is to get in touch with you guys and just to hear your questions and give you guys the shout outs that you guys deserve for joining along in the live stream. So we're going to start with the first comment at Menach Chanaman. I don't know. But he says, getting ready. That was before we went on. So yeah, we are ready. Yes, we're ready. Avraham Fried song. All right, let's get into this interview with Avraham Fried in Amongst the Hasidim podcast. Guys, comment below. I answer all your questions throughout the interview. Oh, wait, 1 second. I started playing it without you guys watching it. Give me 1 second here. There you go. My bad. All right, let's continue.
I don't think it'll be an exaggeration to say that's what keeps me going. That is a shlichus. I hope to be getting nachas ruach to the Mishaleach, and that's what keeps me alive. If it was a personal agenda, I might have petered out already. You know, okay, been there. You know, reached a certain level, and time to retire. But I think it's safe to say that it's the mission, the shlichus. Because man, I'm a ken. David just gives me the koyach, and people still want to hear me sing. Hineni.
If you've been enjoying this podcast, please like and subscribe so that others can enjoy it as well. In addition, if you've benefited in any way from Amongst Hasidim podcast and would like to give something back, you can do so today at derher.org/donate. I'm Yassi Kamen. Welcome to Among Chasidim by Derher, an ongoing farbrengen about life as a chassid, our vibrant connection with the Rebbe, and inspired living shaped by the way he teaches us each and every day.
Cool.
This episode is dedicated to Nishmas Harav Sadia.
Let's get to the extra.
Avraham, how are you?
Aleichem shalom. Baruch Hashem.
Okay, thank you so much for making the time out of your very busy schedule to do this.
Thank you for the invite. I made it to the Derher. What's left?
Okay, I know you're a fan, so makes sense.
Absolutely.
So I think that just to frame what this conversation, Baruch Hashem, I don't think you're new to talking to people and being out there, but we might focus on things that are not focused on other conversations that you have with other people.
Okay.
So that's my intention.
Good. Bring it on.
Okay. So generally, the podcast is called Among Chassidim, and what we're really doing is talking to different Chassidim from all different types and different stripes. In that, I feel that you're very unique in the sense that you're a Chassid and you're in a position.
Yerushalayim. Alamden.
Exactly.
Yeah, go on.
And you're in a position that other people are not. So, just in order to Lamana say that, maybe I'll ask you a question that has to do just in chronological order of your life. Just that might
It's buffering. Just give it a second.
make things simple. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. So I obviously know that you grew up here,
Kanziva.
Kanziva, Crown Heights, by the Rebbe, and most people. I mean, you were born. Is it a secret what year you were born?
What year?
Yeah,
Is it important?
the decade. Just tell me the decade.
I was born after the Frick Rebbe already just given.
Okay, so
Okay.
so the Yuds, the Chafs, the Lamas. I mean, this is something like that. So
Yeah.
this is. I mean, it's I don't know if it's unique, but I don't know how many people here are around that grew up. I think you grew up on President Street, right?
Correct. That was second stop.
No, second stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you what I know, and you can fill me in.
Okay.
I do know, the first thing I know about you is that the building that you lived in, 1418, or 1414, President Street, 1418 is the next one.
Correct.
Obviously, that's a famous building because the Rebbe's mother, Rebbe Zechana, lived there. And I believe there was some interaction. Maybe you can tell us, tell me about it.
It's well known that we were neighbors with the Rebbe's mother. And we knew exactly when Rebbe would come every day to see his mother, and I would stand outside and sing. And Rebbe would do that to me. So that's the whole story. That's it.
Wow.
End of conversation.
So you're talking about, this was like a very often that this would happen?
You probably, yeah. Not every day, I don't remember, but it was often that I had the chus to sing for the Rebbe in her house.
So what was that?
My mother, Aleha Shalom, would go visit sometimes. I don't know how that got arranged, but... And she would say to me, zing etwas. I guess she knew that my family is a singing family because she would hear this midas from our apartment.
So you lived in 1414, she lived in 1418?
Correct.
So you could hear from in front?
Yeah, exactly. When she was outside, she would hear Shabbos, and she very much enjoyed hearing this midas. So she knew that we were singing family. And she would say to me, sing. So I was taught, I don't remember exactly because I was 4 years old. So I would sing from behind the curtain because I was a little bit shy. And she very much enjoyed. That was my big schos to sing for the Rebbetzin Chana.
Do you remember what you sang?
Let's see, I think it was Tanya or Adarabbe. I'm not sure. I probably sang for Ratzta. What did I sing? I mean, from Babich and Ing.
There's a few stories with the Rebbetzin, with the Rebbe's mother, with Nagunim.
Yeah, Dahainu.
First of all, I don't know if it's public, but there's a recording of that people say is her singing Nagunim, I think, which are her father's Nagunim, Meir Shleimi, Anafsky's Nagunim, and others, I think, as well.
Uh-huh.
And there's a few stories like...
I wonder if, technically, because it's the Rebbetzin, if a man can listen to the recordings? It's Kolisha still, but is it it's interesting.
She would ask Chassidim what niggin did the Rebbe teach, on Simchas Torah.
Uh-huh.
She would ask, I think she interacted with people a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She would say,
She was a Vavina, a Negina.
Yeah, that's what I understood, yeah.
Then, of course, it's her bracha that accompanies me till this very day. She told Rabbi Weinberg that Avraham, I don't know the exact lashon, but he has a future in being Mesameach Klal Yisrael.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Now you know.
Okay, so
Now you know the whole story.
you heard about that B'Shas Maisa, or this is later? That
I heard that from the daughter of Reb Mendel Morozov, who was there B'Shas Maisa. She was standing and talking, the Rebbetzin was standing and talking to Rabbi Weinberg, Yossel Weinberg. And she told him, is that dort von jenem Fenster kommt raus schönes Miris. Und dort ist Avraham. I think she called me Avraham, and he will have a future, Ritz Hashem, in Negina.
Wow, okay. So it's a bracha from the Rebbe's mother.
Correct.
Was there something with our Rebbetzin?
All that I know is I was told that in the car, Chesed Halberstam would play the cassettes for her in the car, and she very much liked Tatenu. Babachenigen, obviously. And the lyrics that I wrote about describing the Ava that Hashem has for every Yid, according to the Baal Shem Tov, Ben Yochid, etc. And then he printed it. It's written in a book that one Eder Rosh Hashanah, before she ben Shlicht, she was singing this nigun, Tatenu.
And that's on one of the first albums.
That was on the third album.
Wow.
Okay, so besides the singing, I'm curious to, first of all, I've noticed throughout the years I've been watching videos of the Rebbe.
Yeah, that's nice.
That I see you, not only by Fabringens, but like sometimes in the weekday, and especially the later years, and Alf and the Beis, I was saying Sichas all the time. You're part of the people. Am I correct that sometimes you stood like in the front near Daran Kodesh? Is that something accurate that I think I remember?
Could be. I didn't have a Makom Kavua during those.
Yeah, those Sichas. Yeah, but I think I saw you more than once in that spot.
I mean, I live in Crown Heights. So when there was a Sicha or Fabringen, I was there, L'ch'eira.
Right.
So what's the Chiddush? But yeah, Zachinu.
What's the Chiddush? If every single person in Crown Heights was there by every single thing.
Unless they were busy working. I mean, if there was
right.
we'd get a beeper and we'd run to 770.
Right. And when you were a kid in Crown Heights, you went to Alateira? Where did you attend?
All my life.
The whole time. I understand that your family didn't, like your father, didn't come from Lubavitch, right?
No. Both Zaydas were not connected to Chabad in any way. In the Heim, in the shtetl. Coming to America, my father met the Rashag actually in Tashkent. I don't know how much of a bond they had, but something clicked. When my parents came to America, the Rashag offered him a job to come work in Temchit Mimim on Bedford Avenue, Bedford and Dean. And he worked there for 45 years. But he kept his minhagim, his levush, his nusach, Streimel, the Bekische. He was a Belujev, Bobiv, Chassidim. So I'm a combination of Chabad and Chagas.
So my question is, your father, he didn't consider, he never officially made a switch. It's just that he's here. How does that work?
He was definitely a Chassid, but he didn't change his
I don't know if this guy even understands the fact that at that time, Crown Heights, it wasn't a Lubavitch neighborhood. It was very diverse, with all different types of Chassidim. So I don't know if he kind of knows that. Maybe he'll mention it, but I think that's what he's missing. He's missing the fact that just because you lived in Crown Heights at that time doesn't mean you were just Chabad. There was a lot of different type of families.
But all his kids he gave to the Rebbe.
Right. So
my parents gave to the Rebbe.
So how did he decide to send his kids to the Lubavitcher Meisters?
You'll have to ask him.
I'll try.
Yeah. Ashkocha Protis. I think they tried for a year in other yeshivas, didn't work out, and then Chabad became the permanent address.
So there was no transition, just that the kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Took on
pretty much
everything.
Yeah.
And they all went to Alateira? It's important.
They all went to Alateira.
Even though your father worked in Tefchatim?
Yep. We went to Alateira in the beginning, yeah. Maybe then it moved over to the Ocean, where was it? I'm not sure. But it's all other Torah at the beginning for sure. And they're all shluchim.
Right. So my question for you is, but like being around 770, so it was something that you and your brothers acquired on your own. Like your father wasn't there every February. And
No.
Yeah.
No. Yes,
So-
this was a self-trained army.
So how old
Family.
are you when you started doing that?
I was born into it. I had no adjusting.
So the Freeman brothers were just that was
Maybe
their
at the
place.
beginning they had a little, but it didn't last too long. So it was a very easy adjustment.
Right.
Like, it wasn't after like 10 years of being there that they moved over. It was like, I think it was maybe a year that they tried in a different yeshiva, and it didn't work. So that was it. It was a quick adjustment.
Did your father have your parents had yichidus? Were they,
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
You remember it?
With me was my bar mitzvah. That was the one and only yechidus that I had.
What happened then?
They asked me about my pilpul, and I got a little blunget, and he helped me out. He was very nice to me. And that was the only yechidus I had. But my other brothers and sisters, they had...
But that was also the standard of every boy who had a bar mitzvah that went to their Rebbe. They said a peel pole.
Yechidus and everything.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So, I think what I noticed, before we get to the music part, let me just think a little more. So, and you were in New York the whole time in yeshivas?
Yeah.
Al-Taira, whatever.
Yeah, till we went for 2 years to New Haven. That was already shlichus.
Your shlichus in New Haven. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the way through.
So, fine. So I think that what I noticed as someone growing up, consuming some of your material.
Consuming is a good word. Okay.
Yeah.
Reinnehmen in the previous. Okay. Consuming.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that the wrong word? I don't know.
That's a good word.
It's a good word. Okay. So what I noticed is, and I read this also. What I noticed is that the themes, especially of the early albums for sure, specifically the Mashiach themes, but a lot of them, for example, the one you just mentioned about Tatinu, that the Baal Shem Tov says, yeah, there is a ben Yachid that is born to parents, is a Knusam, right? So these are things that the Rebbe said hundreds of times. And I feel like in the messaging in your music, especially the English songs, were very much connected to what the Rebbe was speaking.
I am very pleased to hear that you got that you figured that out, because I basically based all my songs on what I heard from the Rebbe. All my songs, I mean the English or the Yiddish, where I had a chance to say what I'm feeling, not a pasuk. Basically, what I heard from the Rebbe, No Jew Will Be Left Behind, was clearly from the Rebbe.
Kananas Agabi Ha'anak, the giant shoulders.
That too, giant shoulders. Goodbye Golas, Time Is Now. Achtos, all these things were things I heard from the Rebbe. Basically, that was my go-to.
So my question is, was that for you was that an intentional thing? I guess the question is.
It's very intentional.
Yeah, I guess the question: how was it for you? I'm sure it wasn't simple for you. It wasn't a typical yeshiva bacher, especially in those times, things to do. The singing. The singing.
Well, clearly, that's why I changed my name.
Was that hard for you?
It was very hard. It was uncharted territory.
Well, you started off in charted territory. Weren't you in a choir?
Oh, that was kosher. That was fine. That was with Eli Lipsker.
That's what me and you have in common, that we were both in Eli Lipsker's choir.
You were?
I made it.
Oh,
probably probably the end of the.
Very nice. Oh, look at that. We can say we were in Eli Lipsker's choir.
I told to my kids, myself and Avram Fried were in Eli Lipsker's choir.
I like that. So you're a Baal Menagen. You have a chush in the ginna.
Something, I hope so, maybe.
Okay, good.
When I was in Eli Lipsker, they were only singing Nigunim.
Only Nigunim.
You too, also? For all these albums that he made.
Only Nigunim.
What's that record? Is a solo of
My
you.
famous solo, Tamalach Nafshi. That was in Minnesota.
Famous solo. I never heard that one. Let me see. Tamalach Nafshi. Avraham. Freed. Kid. Sang when he was a kid. Let's see if something comes up. I guess I'll have to look at it some other time, but like famous, I never heard it. I know the famous one is when he put his album in any case, you know. Another one's Yismechu Ashamai, you heard that one. And another one was like a Chazanis piece he sang.
But there's another solo of you. That's not Ali Lipsker? What choir is that?
On his albums, I had solos.
Right, and that's not Nagunim.
No, those were his songs.
Oh, so he composed that song, Eliyahu Hanavi?
He composed a lot of songs.
Really?
Those are his songs. I think the 2-3 albums that he put out, it's his songs.
Yismechu
Hashamayim, Ekem Chayenu,
Yep, there you go.
He had
There
a
you
lot
go.
of songs.
Like I said.
He had some good
So
stuff.
that's separate from the choir?
That was the choir, was concerts, Chabad concerts. That was all Chabad Nagunim.
Right, that's
His
right.
albums were his songs. 2 separate.
And you were a soloist on that.
I was. Ellie discovered me.
So I didn't realize that he composed those songs.
Yeah.
And then some of the songs we sing are songs that he sang on Chayach. Like we sing, He Gol
That's him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
That's how I learned the song.
Mm.
There's a lot of nuschais to that niggin.
Yeah.
So like I do the Ali Lipsker nusach.
Mm-hmm. Probably he's a good mocker.
You know the story with him with the Rebbe.
What was the Maisa?
You weren't the first one in Lubavitch. The way I heard the story was that he was basically
Yeah, remind me.
he was leaving Seder Yeshiva. He's from Eretz Yisrael.
Right.
You can't send him to learn, right? You can't. That he was leaving Seder and going to get music lessons. Like
Did I have paid for it?
yeah. Then I think for
Oh, that was Eli Lipsker? Yeah, basically the whole famous story was that he was trying to go get music lessons, and Yeshiva wanted to kick him out, so they wrote to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe says, not only you should not kick him out, but you should also pay for his lessons. Maybe it was Eli Lipsker, maybe it was not music, I'm not sure what it was, but something like that, it could be that story.
for not singing, for
Accordion.
whichever
That he was playing, okay.
instrument he was playing. And then Hala found out about it and they wanted to throw him out of yeshiva. And I don't know exactly the context. Those years the Rebbe had Yechidas with Hala every month. So it could be it was then. The Rebbe said to not only not to throw him out, the Rebbe asked how was he paying for it.
There you go.
And then the Rebbe, no, it's not the story.
I'm amazed.
Yeah. And then the Rebbe paid for the music lessons. He's another good example
Amazing.
of a guy that, I mean, he's not the Mendel Futefas, right? Okay, we mentioned him before. I mean, he's Ali Lipsker, right? But what do you mean? He's who's making the Nagunim, who's doing the choir, who's doing the Chayach, who's playing by every chasana, who's playing by every rally.
Rallies.
Yeah. Did you sing in front of the Rebbe ever?
Only as a little kid, coming to visit his mother.
But also, Avraham did sing for Simchas Beis Sheva all the time in Crown Heights when he was younger. Actually, if you look at that footage of him when he was singing when he was younger as Simchas Beis Sheva, he looks exactly and like bounces and and his notions look exactly like Eli Marcus. It's crazy.
Right.
Never in the later years. No, never worked out. But
Although I saw a picture of you
amazing.
when Rosenberg had the Silva Zemer, the choir.
Yeah, the Gershel Bracha.
Yeah, you're getting Keshe Bracha that time.
Really?
I believe.
I went every time to get Gershel Bracha. I have a video actually of me getting the bottle.
Yeah, Memches.
Memches.
Oh, the whole that Keshe Simchas Torah. It's a very freilich Kesha Bracha. That Kesha Bracha. It's like a hemshech of.
I have a clear video of it.
I think that's when the. I think that's when. Nitkaber Allah. I think it's that one.
Tatska is another.
Tatskis is another guy. Another. And that the Rebbe wanted to sing. The Rebbe asked. The
violin player who the Rebbe told to play the violin. Look, the Rebbe was very...
No, the Rebbe asked to sing Dafke, not Labamsha Nagunim. They wanted the Gruzin Nagunim and the Russian Nagunim, the Chadaita, they wanted the Gruzin, and the Rebbe said to put it on the Chay.
By the way, that's in this week's Veschana's Living Torah. You see, there's a footage of the Rebbe asking the Druze to sing his music. Yeah, those are crazy.
Those three Sfaradish Nagunim.
Yeah.
I read somewhere
the Rebbe had such a brilliant approach to things. Imagine squashing Lipsker added so much Nagina to Chabad. He has a whole series of Nagunim. He plays on the piano and
he's saying the whole Sefer Nagunim from the notes.
The whole Sefer, he did the whole thing?
I think so, yeah. That's what it is. It's the whole. He's saying Sefer Nagunim.
What a treasure.
Among Chassidim is brought to you by Chassidische Derher.
Yeah, so I guess there is ads here, but yeah, guys, just a reminder to keep adding the comments. Comment on just for shoutouts, or if you have any questions, comment below. So that I could get to your questions, give you shout-outs, whatever you want. We are going to just take a quick break because I have to do number 2. So we're just going to do a quick break over here. All right, we're back. A reminder to comment below for any shout-outs or Q&As you have in between the segments of the interview. So comment below. Love to chat with you guys about Jewish music or just anything you guys want. Let's continue here.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, but as I, got older, singing was not a very popular thing to do. Bela in a choir is one thing, but to be a solo singer was. And but somehow, some way, I decided to go ahead with it. They just gave me this machshava, and that's why I changed from Friedman to Fried. So nobody should know, because I never wanted to be Nizgal. I wanted to be a tzaddik nister,
Right.
And for a few months, no one knew who was this guy Fried, who Sanaya Zinger. Until I had to reveal my true identity. But the name, Baruch Hashem, was Matzliach, so I stuck with it.
1 second, but before that,
Oh, not only that, his chavrusa didn't know that he was out freed for like a half a year, I think, like 6 months, or maybe more. I think it was more. And not only that, he also said once in an interview that there's 2 reasons, an official and an unofficial reason why I'm freed. The official reason was what he said here. The unofficial reason why I was freed because there was no room to write Avraham Friedman on the cassette. He said that as like a joke, but it is pretty funny.
that you were, besides Ali Lipsker, I know of another thing that you did in Lubavitch.
Yeah,
You're on the Chayach.
that's true.
You have a solo.
Ooh.
I was in the choir for many years, and that during those.
Ooh, wait 1 second. Is it going to be Nechayach, Vehi She'amda? I'm going to start playing it by myself, but if it starts playing music, I'm going to shut it off because it's Sphera, but... Yep, it's music, but I'll definitely check it out after Sphera. He has a solo in it? That's pretty cool.
But I was able to get one solo.
Maybe you could tell me a little bit about what it was to record in the Chayach.
I don't have that much of a recollection. It was, some adult choir, and we went into a studio and we sang.
Who was doing it
I
then?
don't remember. What was it, Silverman's? I don't remember who he was even conducting. I don't remember.
But who was the Lubavitcher that was
It was
Mesh
basically.
Talshevsky?
It was Talshevsky was involved, and Eli Lipsker. Those were the two, I think. Those were the two. But you remind me of a cute story I heard from Velvel Pasternak. He was conducting some of the choirs, some of the albums, and he writes in his book that he was telling Reb Shmuel Zalmanov that on this and this day we're going to go into a studio with the younger light, we're going to record, and I'm the conductor. You watch me. When we sing, I show you when we start, when we finish, when we pause, when we breathe. So Shmuel smiled and said, Reb Velvel, I'm very happy to hear that you're going to conduct us, but don't take it to heart. But when you're going to be conducting, I'm not looking at you. Won't be looking at you. He says, why not? He says, when we sing with our eyes closed. Das ist Achsidische choir.
Yeah.
Conductor, wir singt mit der Egen vermacht.
Wow.
You heard this from him?
So, he writes it in his book, yeah.
I saw some other write-up. He has a book? Okay, I saw a
think so.
write-up from, I think it was
Interview.
from him. There's a whole write-up of, I think it's a transcript of a talk that he gave. He describes different things like this.
Oh, yeah?
I think the first time they recorded, they're about to start. It's like, you can't start. Someone pulled out a bottle of mashke. If you stop singing, you have to say l'chaim. It's a febringen,
Even better, good. Even better. So you're dealing with real professional choirs.
Right.
Conductor.
It's buffering. Give it a second. There you go.
I could probably venture a guess that as when you hear the recording stock, you hear that they're singing with their eyes closed because it's not this professional tight and so perfect. That's what we had to grow up with.
Yeah.
That's what we had. I was able to put out 4 Chabad albums after that, but that was based on the Chayach.
The concept.
About Havenigen. I heard that from, the Bronstein
Yeah.
from the Chayach. You want to hear an interesting story? A year or 2 ago, I was invited to Varshavah Brochus in Williamsburg, and the guy from the choir says to me, people like, I get the Chabadske Nigen. a tiefe Nigen. I said, was lässt du der Poltava Nigen? I said, Poltava Nigen. He said, man singt das in Satmer jeden Tag. It's very nicht Chiddush. I said, what? Poltava Nigen? That was the best compliment I ever got. So nicht Chiddush, Poltava Nigen.
Yeah.
I said, that's pretty amazing. They introduced me, said, see this guy? He sings it at every chasana. So it's not a Chiddush anymore.
The Poltava Nigen is not a Freidige Nigen. It's like
no, he said he wants a tifer. They love a gitte Chabadske Nigen. Dafke tief. So Poltava, what could be better? Poltava's really old news.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry that it keeps buffering. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I'll reload the page if it does it again.
Okay.
It took time for these songs to get in, but Baruch Hashem, Chabad Nigunim are now on the top. The Chiddush Olam and B'chalal, in my concerts, I always put in the Chabad medley. Place gets up. It's just there's something holy and freilich about it.
By the way, I can attest to that. Even though I have my criticism that the Chabad medley that he does is a pre-recorded soundtrack, how do I know? Because it's done the same way every time, no matter what orchestra or no matter what location he does it, whether it's in Israel or America. But it does get the place up. It does get the energy going. It's just a shame that I think that energy would have been the same, whether you have a pre-recorded or you have the orchestra playing in the first place. So why have pre-recorded if you, as a musician and as a passionate person for music, I'm not saying I'm free. I'm saying this is the thing about the orchestra. Like, why aren't they just playing it from scratch? It would be amazing.
You see by chasanas that when people play other nigunim, whatever, other songs, the Chassidish crowds like to have only nigunim and the others don't. The pile, they always have a nigun in there. I mean, you can see it's a different vibe.
I agree.
I had a mashpia once told me what's the difference between a Chassidish nigun and not. This is not written anywhere, but you see it b'muchash that non-Chassidish nigunim or Gaisha, maybe saying Gaisha nigunim, make you want to dance with yourself. Chassidish nigunim make you want to dance with other people.
That's good. I like that.
And you can actually see that. Since he told me that, I've watched that. You see, they're singing all the modern songs. It's very hard to dance with other people. And then the Chassidish nigunim,
It's actually very interesting. Yeah, you kind of just jump around but when it comes to Chabad Nigunim, that's where you want to hold hands. That's such an interesting concept. Also, you have to remember. I also was at a Fabring and they talked about this. That Chabad Nigunim, the Chassidim that composed the Chabad Nigunim that we know today, weren't necessarily musical or musicians, or they weren't professional singers. They were nothing in the music area. But it's just because they poured out their hearts out, it just came out with the nigun. It's something, lack of a better word, magical about Chabad Nigunim.
I like that.
You get into a circle, your hand in the shoulders or whatever it is.
I like that. I once gave a hakdara that some music is for your body, the prosta music, and some music you feel that it's touching your soul. But this is a good. I have
to ask him if he's a mucker for such a thing, or this is his sociological.
He's the mucker. If it works, then that's. But do they have over this? The best mucker.
So maybe I'm jumping around, but I'm going to remember where I was holding. So you did 4 albums of Nigun Chabad, right? In my estimation,
I'll have to do more. Yeah.
Okay. In my estimation, because I remember when you came out with them, I feel. I mean, today everyone sings Lubavitcher Nigunim in all Kreisen. I feel that part of what popularized them in the Welt was your albums.
100%. 100%. Not popularized in the Chabad Welt, and around the world. 100%.
Is that something that you...
Katointi. I love hearing that. That's best compliment.
Okay, good. So this ties into what we were holding. So I believe, side with the Nigun Chabad and side with the messaging in your singing, once you were doing it, maybe you were uncomfortable starting, but you did it. But I think that, a Lubavitcher Chassid knows that everything's a shlichus, and a Chassid machta sviva, and everything like that. And I really feel like you took that to heart. and that was part of the mission.
I don't think it'll be an exaggeration.
Okay, I'm sorry for pausing for a second. I'm just gonna reload the page because I don't know why it keeps buffering. Give me a second here. At 29:11. Let's refresh here.
I don't think it'll be an exaggeration to say that's what keeps me going. That it's a shlichus. I hope to be getting nachas ruach to the.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be an exaggeration to say that's what keeps me going. That it's a shlichus. I hope to be getting nachas ruach to the Mishaleach, and that's what keeps me alive. If it was a personal agenda, I might have petered out already. Okay, been there. Reached a certain level and time to retire. But I think it's safe to say that it's the mission, the shlichus. Because man, I'm a ken. David gives me the koyach, and people still want to hear me sing. Hineni.
So how do you today? So then you were doing the live messaging from the Rebbe Sabdingens. How do you feel like today you're being mamala the Rebbe shlichus? I guess there's two crowds. There's in the last few years you've been very involved with people outside of that are not yet Shemitah Mitzvah. You're also dealing with other Kaizen in the
the duets, the Israeli duets.
Yes, how is that? What are the two?
It's part of it. It's all part of it. To bridge the gap through music with.
I mean, one of the famous ones is when he did with what's it called? Aviv Geffen, that's who it was. Like that whole story when they sang together after COVID was a whole thing, and he said that is all part of his shlichus, and that's like one of the moments where he felt like this is where I reached the peak of what I was meant to do as a singer in the industry. I totally agree. All right, let's get to some comments. Zalman 9607, what's up, Uziel? What's up, Zalman? Zalman 9607, what's your job next year? We'll see. But I'm going to continue doing this stuff. I love music. I love videos and doing stuff like this. Being with you guys. So much fun. Nazalman 9607. How does he justify singing in front of mixed rounds? Listen. What can I say? You're going to have to ask him. At Zalman 9607, I can understand non-from crowds, but he also sings in front of mixed crowds. Again, listen, when it comes to mixed crowds or not, you're going to have to ask the singer their preferences. Mordechai Ben David obviously doesn't do it. He used to at one point, but he stopped. I'm free. It is something different. I mean, every singer is different. So you're going to have to ask them because every singer has their own sheet and stuff. So for me to say what he thinks, if I don't know the reason why, if I did know the reason, I would say. But it's up to him. Zalman 9607, where are you right now? Right now, I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where I live. Next week, I'm going to be a little bit in Crown Heights, a little bit in Muncie. So if you're in those areas, look out for me. Maybe you'll catch me and say hi. All right, guys, I love it. Keep the comments going, talking about music or just for shout-outs or just questions. Keep the comments flowing, and I'll get to you in between the interview. But yeah, let's continue.
Others than myself, which has worked wonderfully, Baruch Hashem. Look, whatever we have from the Rebbe we have it. Ad Bias HaMashiach. So we have his guidelines, we have his feelings about subjects, how he thinks about things, what his take is, so we have enough material to keep going ad Bias HaMashiach.
Mm-hmm.
What are the topics today? Same topics. Still screaming ad Masai. Mashiach is still a popular topic, although it's becoming a little more painful about it was taking so long.
You're saying when you came out with The Time Is Now,
Yeah, it was very.
that was supposed to be
That's it.
the last
The
album.
That's it,
time
exactly.
is now. Da, la, 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 la. It's such a classic.
No Jew. Why the time is not even no Jew? We're talking already 45 years later, Kimat. It's a long time to scream at Masai. But we'll continue till we bring the house down.
Right. No, I'm saying even for myself as a Lubavitcher Chassid, in my house there wasn't only Necheach. I have to admit, there's actually a story. Actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say stories from people without getting the details right, without asking them first. But I know Rabbi Yisrael Derher, who we had on the podcast a few episodes ago.
Nice.
And I hope I get corrected if I'm saying it wrong, but apparently Rabbi Chadikov told him, the shtub soll sein a freilicher. Maybe he told his wife. I don't know. I have to find out. Shtub soll sein a freilicher shtub, a happy house. So he recommended one of the ways to do that is to play music in the house, and he said lav dafka necheach.
Ooh, really?
So I asked him. I asked Rabbi Darren's son Yossi, what did you? So what was it? He says, "What do you mean? Avram Fried, Merchem David."
Nice.
That's what it was.
Beautiful.
So I'm saying that as.
But a lot of people had that standard too, like if people were gonna go beyond the Gunim, their limit was Mordechai ben David and Avram Fried. And it's so funny that like when you hear Avram Fried and Mordechai ben David talk about how when they first came out, it was such like a thing. They were like the controversy, and now look at them now.
As a kid, so I grew up, I was born before Gimel Tammuz, but my formative years were afterwards. So the way the Rebbe was talking about Mashiach was, yeah, but it was fresh in people's minds. Part of the way I was exposed to that, in my personal experience, was through listening to. And that's what I had in the house. All those albums that you're talking about.
It's funny because when
my mother didn't like the musical arrangements on The Time Is Now.
Oh yeah,
interesting.
You have to interview her. Why she didn't like that?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's funny because when I give a bracha to Chassan Kala, I'll say to them, your house should be filled with Ava, V'Yachva, Sholem, V'Reus, and good music. Very important.
Right.
So a freiliche Stub is a wonderful ingredient. The beats being Mother Schede in the house, that's for sure.
Right. And I did see that there were some isyachsus from the Rebbe to your actual career. Like I last night, I went on Jem's website on the Living Archive for all the photos, and I saw a picture of you, which I never saw before, handing the Rebbe the album.
A cassette.
The cassette, yeah, the tape, yeah. Do you remember what the Rebbe said then? Because it looks like you're saying something to the Rebbe.
I probably have it written down somewhere. I'm actually surprised I spoke because I never said a word to the Rebbe. But I guess someone encouraged me to give the Rebbe the new cassette and say this is the new album.
I mean, that would be so daunting. Like the fact that you come up with an album or a song and you hand it to the Rebbe and say, "This is what I did." Like first off, you kind of have to be like I think that's like the standard of how comfortable you are with coming out with the music, right? Like, would I give this music or would I show this music to the Rebbe? You know what I mean? It's there's so much like yira in that. It's crazy.
What he said about the Rebbe, I have to look up. I have a lot of answers from the Rebbe.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
About what?
Verschiedene Sachen.
What can you share?
The trips, whether it was, we're talking now in Chodesh Elul.
Mm-hmm.
The Rebbe told me once when I had concerts in Chodesh Elul, and I notified the Rebbe said, Betach yedaber v'chol mokim al devar melech basada.
Translates.
Surely you will mention at every concert the concept of the king is in the field in the month of Elul. I thought the Rebbe says in Likutei Torah.
So that Bechlal, you wrote to the Rebbe, like your itinerary, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're coming out with the album.
Every step of the way.
And what are the answers?
Before and after. I have a lot of different
I should have asked you to bring them with you.
Different answers. So Elul was here's an example. So the Rebbe gave me
I should start doing that. I should, before I start any video, any live stream, any project, I write to the Rebbe. That would be so cool. I should start doing that.
Schlichus.
Yeah.
To mention, Vela Basada, Rebbe kannst du tot.
I'm sorry, I don't know why he keeps reloading. I'm sorry. You know what? Let's pause here. Let's pause here and answer some more questions that we have in the comment section. All right. Zalman 9607. Can we see the shul? Sure, I guess so. Let me try to see. Here we go. Just moving the camera. Look at that. That's the shul. It's dark because no one's using it, but yeah. I'm going a little too fast, but there you go. That's my Chabad house where I live. There you go. That's the show. All right. Keep the comments flowing. Keep the questions coming. I'll give you shout-outs and Q&As. Keep them coming because that's what I love about these live streams is to connect with you, the audience. So keep them flowing. Keep them coming. All right. Let's continue here.
I should have asked you to bring them with you.
Different answers. So Elul was, here's an example. So Rebbe gave me a shlichus.
Yeah.
To mention Vela Basada, Rebbe kannst du tot. The last few weeks, Baruch Hashem, in Eretz Yisrael, wherever I've been, in London and in Australia, Baruch Hashem, Vela Basada was on the program.
So I assumed that these type of things that you do was something that you took on as a pashtus to do. I didn't realize that you actually have hirais from the Rebbe.
Yes, that's
doing
one.
These things.
The pushka is another hero.
So what is it?
The Rebbe once gave me $1 and said to me, I told the Rebbe that I had a job that night. And the Rebbe said, this is $1 faden singen before you sing for tzedakah, and then another $1 als noch ein singen, als hateda la HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the singen gewend behatzlacha. Second $1 to give after the concert as a thank you to Hashem for the hatzlacha. So for the last 30 plus years, I traveled with a pushka. I'm not sure how many years I started doing it on stage. I would do it, off stage, before and after. It wasn't the hijrah to do it on stage. But I think someone said to me, why don't you do it in public? Let people see that you're doing, you're connected to Hashem before and after each concert, saying thank you. And it was the hijrah of the Rebbe. So now, thank you Hashem is very popular. Thanks to the thank you Hashem guys. Tovi Aleichem Bracha. But the Rebbe's chiddush was thank you with a mitzvah.
Right.
It wasn't just saying thank you Hashem. It was thank you Hashem with a ma'aseh gashmi, with giving tzedakah. And people know that Fareed comes to a concert with a yellow pushka. Like my, the Rebbe gave me this unique privilege, approach.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rebbe found a way to take a young bacher at the time. I started when I was a bacher, and find ways to keep me connected to him. Whether it was the first hijrah that I got from the Rebbe on the first album was to print on it not to play on Shabbos and Yom Tov.
Oh, that's a famous story.
And that was very important
I don't know if he's going to say that story, but that was a huge story.
to him. So he found the first way to give me a hijrah. I remember I cried when I first got the answer because I said the Rebbe took from his time to answer a young bacher putting out an album, busy with other things. The Rebbe took the time to answer me, and he answered me a lot of times since then. And actually, I have an interesting story. So sometimes before going on a long tour, on a trip, besides going to the air, like on the airplane, I'll send a request for a bracha b'machshava. Rebbe, I'm on the plane now. I'm heading out on a long trip. Like a long trip. Yeah, a long trip, and bet a bracha, and give me a sign that you're with me and you're benching me, and this is going to be good. And I'll usually add a little nekuda that how am I going to know if I had a sign from the Rebbe? If someone on this trip tells me a story about you, this will be the best siman. So my first stop was in London. I had a bar mitzvah in London, and it was already at the end of the bar mitzvah. People were leaving on the way out. Okay, I figured, nothing happened on this particular night. Maybe the next night or whatever the other trips. It's had a long trip to be on the road. On the way out, one guy comes over to me, very well-dressed guy, And he says to me, "Oh, Mr. Fried, I'm going to tell you something. You know that I don't look like a chassid, right? But I want you to know that sometimes I'll get on a plane, I'll fly to JFK, I'll go to the oil, and fly right back to London. See, I don't look like a chassid, but I go to the Rebbe, I come right back. I don't even go out of the, out of the oil. Oh, then he says, I have a story for you. I said, yeah, what story? And he says, my father is a businessman, travels a lot. And recently he was on a flight and the turbulence, Pashat, scared the wits out of it because there was severe, severe turbulence. And he was like really, really scared. And his glasses fell down and he puts his hand under the seat to get his glasses and he feels something under his seat. Pulls it out. It's a Tfilas HaDerech with a picture of the Rebbe on it. Now they keep it at the airport?
The airport, yeah.
So when he found that under his seat on a Lufthansa flight, someplace over Europe, a picture of the Rebbe under his seat, and it calmed him down, and Baruch Hashem, they landed safely, they survived. But that picture calmed him down. That story he tells me. So I gave him a big hug, and I said, thank you very much for sharing this story. I said, the Rebbe is with me. Amazing story.
Yeah.
Under his seat on a plane to find a card of Tfilas HaDerech with the Rebbe. Piliploim. So I got my sign. V'kahai Gavna, it's happened a few times. So we know that we're connected.
And definitely someone that's listening to this podcast goes, hey, that was my card. I lost a card then. Or something, whatever. That's so crazy. Like, these stories, like, atheists out there, do you need any more proof than that?
Yeah.
L'chaim.
And yeah, that's very special that you're connecting every trip with the Rebbe.
Gotta stay connected.
And I know also you did certain things like part of the shlichus in Lubavitch in a certain period was after the fall of communism. And I know you did a bunch of concerts over there. And,
yeah. That was a very memorable couple of concerts there. In Lvov and in Minsk and Pinsk, I think. And I remember singing for a little kid from Pripyat with Komet Aleph. Oh, those were some good memories. Huh. And Hollywood was very special. I'm going to Russia. It was like Mesilas Nefesh going to.
What years are you talking about? Like Nun?
Oh, yeah. I think the early Nuns. I think. Yeah. And by the way, now I have a new mitzvah that I'm on. Recently, this young man in Florida came out with a story that happened with him. The chassid Nachum Litkowski from Florida.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
he came from Russia with his mother as a little boy, and then he grew older, and he would come to the Rebbe for dollars and for bringing his bracha, and then he stopped coming because he got a job in construction, and he was always dirty. He didn't feel it. One time he came Sunday, and Rebbe gives him the $1, and he says, "Oh, wo bist du?" And he says to the Rebbe, "Ich bin da. I guess he meant, I live here, I'm in the neighborhood. The Rebbe said, was kommst du nicht? Why don't you come? So he said, Rebbe, es passt nicht. Ich hab schmutzige Kleider, the Arbeit, I can't come. I have a job in construction, my clothes are dirty, I can't come. The Rebbe looked at him and said, Komm wie du bist, aber komm. I saw the story. Come as you are, but just come. And the story gave me such an amazing line. We know that the Rebbe looks past our exterior. But to hear from the Rebbe, Kum wie du bist, aber kum, it's such a hopeful line. Like, we know you're not perfect. I want to see you anyway. I relish, I enjoy just seeing you. I can look past your shortcomings. So when I read the story, on the spot is mir eingefallen the Tnua of Koil Bayar. I komm wie du bist, aber komm wie du bist, aber komm. And Nachum tells me that this is making waves all over the world, giving people chizuk that we know you're not perfect, but come anyway. Hashem wants to see us The Rebbe wants to see us.
And in a lot of ways, I don't know why it just comes to my head, but in a lot of ways, that's the relationship between the singer and the audience. The audience just want to see someone being authentic, being himself. They're not looking for necessarily a performer to sing in front of them. Like, if you want a performer, you go to a play, or you get certain people to be a performer for you if you're not really interested in singing. But if you want to go to music and actually relate to a singer, you got to look for something authentic, someone being himself. And also, a singer saying back to the audience, like, I'm not trying to, I want to be as authentic for you, and the audience should just feel the same way. It's in everything you do. Now, it doesn't matter what industry or whatever you're doing. You got to be authentic. You got to be yourself. That's all you have to be.
And it's just a beautiful message.
So why
Kovi, du bist, aber komm.
why is this story hatte the Numen? Why?
I think it touched everybody. I think everybody, you can't help but be touched with such a story because it's so what's the right word? It's so hopeful. It's so positive. It's so beautiful that you want to try to be perfect? Try. But till you get there, don't let that hold you back. Don't let your exterior or your even spiritual shortcomings hold you back, because deep down, you're good.
I think it's connected.
Deep down, you're a good guy.
I think it's connected to what you said about the first answer you got from the Rebbe. About
Shabbos and Yom Tov.
Shabbos and Yom Tov. I think what you said was that there was like a kidduv that the Rebbe showed you to
100%,
to what you're doing. I mean, between the lines, I'm reading that you were questioning about what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and the Rebbe was saying, "Okay, you're part of this. We're going to give you a job." And
Yeah, the heroes were so. I mean, first of all, the connection that keeps you connected, but this idea of I've always found positive in everything. That was. But for a young guy who's going into singing at that time, singing was not so popular. I was still a bacher in yeshiva. Shocking. And never found a way to. The Rebbe didn't say, "What? What are you doing? Sitz in Leden. Mach sich narrisch." No. And then for years and years and years and years, before every concert, after concert, albums, what I'm doing, what I'm singing about, what's the theme, what's the songs, and Shliach Mitzvah. I have from the Rebbe dollars, Australian dollars, British dollars, Israeli shekels.
what do you mean the
Rebbe
Rebbe?
said Shliach Mitzvah. The Rebbe would send out Shliach Mitzvah. I would notify the Rebbe that I'm heading out on a trip, and he would send out the currency where I was going.
Whoa.
That happened often?
I have a pack of
Okay, so
shekels and
I'm glad we're having this
pounds and-
conversation because these are all chedushim for me,
Okay,
at least.
good,
I don't know for
good.
others.
That's really cool.
Not the
Yeah.
head and the chedushim.
So it's mamish that, to me, that's really the Rebbe's being mishtatev literally in all your nesiyas. It's like a.
Yes, very humbling. Absolutely.
So I did notice.
Alleen kan men toch gar nicht tun, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed throughout, from different, I don't know if we're allowed to say this, but there are other singers also, and I've noticed,
That's a chiddush, yeah.
and I've noticed that it has a place by the Rebbe, this concept of the hashpah that singers have, whether it's the siachs that the Rebbe gave to Mordechai and David, or the pimentas. I mean, the pimentas have a whole long answer from the Rebbe about music, which is printed in the Sichos. And there's a few with Mordechai and David. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I feel like sometimes it's a little more begully because you're coming as a chassid, and a chassid doesn't make any noise in front of the Rebbe. But Mordechai and David, you see, there's more. He's talking and the Rebbe's answering, and you see that the Rebbe's really miyaker the whole thing.
I think the Rebbe believes in Hashgacha Pratis. So if you have a gift, that's clear Hashgacha Pratis. If you can use it for, to bring you closer, inspire them with your matana, of course he was for it. Absolutely.
Right. So today, what is this whole thing that I see that you're interacting with other people, other singers that are not Shemitah Mitzvah, and it looks to me like the way you're doing it is, besides just singing with them and collaborating with them, it's also there's a Indian of Afatzas Hayadus that's being accomplished.
No question. This is mostly in Eretz Yisrael, where we have a lot of concerts there, Baruch Hashem, and my good friends out there, my team out there, came up with this idea that instead of having another Hasidic singer at your concerts, what would be the Chiddush? Let's get some Israeli singers. And maybe those who are not even, Shema Tira Mitzvahs. And the reaction is...
What's it called? I just came back from a Sultan concert with Amar Fried. He had Shlomi Shabbat. He had a former hostage singing on the stage. It gets a lot of attention out there.
Be the Chiddush. Let's get some Israeli singers. And maybe those who are not even, Shema Tira Mitzvahs. And the reaction has been amazing. People are telling me, what's about a Kiddush Hashem? And then, of course, the last one was with Aviv Geffen, who was a total, coming from the other side, totally. And people said, what a great Kiddush Hashem. I think that's the koyach of Negina, that it brings people together. If you sing together, then you could at least have a opening to start talking together. And clearly they're inspired. They come, they see the Shuma Elam. I think it's very inspiring for them. I think it reminds them of, who they really are. And someplace deep down it gets a kitzel and then a neshama. Kann ich wissen? Last year Purim, I met a guy in Los Angeles. He said to me, your song Yaakov, I broke off was very much in love with Akshaksa, and I broke it off. And I'm married to a Jewish girl because of that song.
Really?
Whoa.
Klor de Purim.
It's amazing.
That's Yom Tov.
Like he heard it, or that song?
No, he heard it.
Klinked.
He heard it, and it wasn't easy. We were ready to get married.
Et gesehen, Aces steht auf dem Weg. I want to go backwards to 770, backwards in time. So I think this is going to be released after Tishrei, but the listeners and the viewers are going to have to forgive me because I'm holding Tishrei.
Okay.
And Rosh Hashanah, Simchas Torah with the Rebbe. Is there something that you want to share from Tishrei with the Rebbe? Whether it's Tkiyas, whether it's Simchas Torah, whether it's Bechlal, or it's a specific event, or something that you want to share.
Yeah. What can I share with you about Tishrei? I was zeicher to be by Tkiyas. I was zeicher to be by Hakofas, the Ila. Simchas Torah, Lamed Ches, right? Lamed Ches, right? And then have the stroke.
The heart attack, Lamed Ches.
Lamed Ches. They had the heart attack. So my place was up against the Mizrach wall. So I could see the Rebbe from the side. Right? The Rebbe would stand facing Mizrach, and I would...
So you're Mizrach on the other side of the Aron Kodesh.
Yes, I was on top of the Aron Kodesh.
Okay, so I was onto something. I told you before. I saw in the videos on top of the Aron Kodesh.
That wasn't Simchas Torah.
No, but I saw something. A sich in the front.
By Farang is I stood at the other side of the Rebbe, on the left side, up on the bleachers on the other side. The Ma'arif wall.
You stood, but the bleachers, the big bleachers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So during Hakofas, Lamed Ches, I'm looking at the Rebbe, obviously. I'm looking, and it was during a break, during one of they were being Machabed, people for Sefer Torah. And I said to the guy behind me, the Rebbe looks so white. Look at the Rebbe's face. He's weiß wie der Wand. He's so pale. That's when the whole thing happened. The Rebbe sat down. The whole balagan broke loose. They started screaming, Arus for shul, everybody out of shul. They have to break the windows. The Rebbe needs ear. Get out of shul. Get out of shul. So I ran out of shul, and I ran around the back of 770. The windows were still there, colorful windows. And I think that too, the windows were broken. I peeked out through the window. The Rebbe was walking out of the shul. He's holding his siddur. There was some people still in the shul who did not leave the shul, even though they were told to leave. And the Rebbe, they were singing.
They were the Yetzim and Akal.
That was whatever. And the Rebbe was making with his hand, but down here. Didn't raise up his hand. He was making with his hand to the song, even though what he was experiencing, as we know that it was a severe heart attack. But he was making with his hand down. Couldn't. So I remember clearly. And then the next day, some 30 of us decided Tavkin Sumayel. That was a different one.
A different group.
Different group.
I think Rabbi went that night, maybe. Right.
Maybe we went the next day. Next night we went for Hakofis, Queens. Rabbi Hechtschul, so lang gesund.
So you're talking about Simchas Torah by Shmini Atzeres?
Next night. The next night, a day, yeah.
Like Halucha time?
Yeah.
You walked to the aisle?
Yeah. First we walked to Rabbi Hechtschul to do Hakofis. Then we walked from there to the oil. I was the only kohen in the... Today, it was locked. The gate was locked. It wasn't like today. Open all the time. So we all climbed over the gate. I was the last one in, so I climbed into the circle, jumped into a circle. We walked to the oil and we davened.
I remember we did that as a kid. Like we went there for camp. Oh, it was the Kinnos. And we had like 2 Kaihanim in our bunk. And so we made like a dancing circle around and we just like walked backwards. So the 2 Kaihanim could be in a mechitza. I don't know if that's valid, but that's what we did.
And we walked back. It was a very long walk.
I did it once.
The Belt Parkway is endless when you walk in it.
I once walked it. It took me 4 hours.
Oh, okay. I remember coming to Eastern Parkway, some of the guys had to stop by every bench. They sat down at every bench because their feet were swollen. And then as we got closer, we started running to hear what's going on. And then when the first report we got was the Rebbe's feeling better. And the Rebbe said, Shira v'zimra, something.
I think that was after Chavzanada, the Shira v'zimra.
There's something the singing is giving.
The Rebbe said
the singing is giving koyach, the simcha.
Because there was a Fabring downstairs. Usually the Rebbe Fabrings at the end of Yom Tov.
This is in the morning.
Are you talking in the morning?
As we came back, people dancing in the shul.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Abel said that the singing is giving gesund, something like that. So we felt better that we got good report after our walk to the oil. And I think somebody clocked it after that. Like between 20 and 30 miles we walked, something like that. But so that was a memorable Simchas Torah. What else? I remember one time I decided to be brave and stand in the washing machine or in the dryer right in front of the bim of Tkiyas. Usually I'm up on bleachers and I'm going to try to stand down there. That was the smoke coming up from the crowd. First of all, you couldn't put your siddur out like this to say anything because there's no room. So you're like sitting like this, and the steam was coming up. It was like it was like being in a dryer. But Baruch Hashem, I survived. And
Avraham also had a story where he was one time, that famous story where he couldn't sing and he told the crowd, and the crowd started singing his songs in front of him. And Avraham said later that his theory is because of the smoke machines that they have at the concerts. That's what, hit him.
The Tkiyas by the Rebbe was heavenly, amazing.
I understand that even there's other shuls in Crown Heights at Lubavitch's with Davin and whether it was to be mechazik that they shouldn't close or whatever because people lived there, but I think all these shuls would stop at Tkiyas and everyone came to 770 for the Rebbe's Tkiyas.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? Lekach Gershla Bracha. I could mention to you that it was Simchas Torah Tafshin Memches. Kershel Bracha. Keragil, I walked by the Rebbe to get to Kershel Bracha. It usually takes a second, you know. And I got my Kershel Bracha and I'm ready to move on. And I see I thought I saw the Rebbe's hand, something moving in my direction. And I look back and the Rebbe standing with a bottle. a moment, I froze. I said, Rebbe, you sure this is for me? I didn't say a word. But it took a second. I said, Rebbe, you sure this is for me? The Rebbe didn't take it back. And he gave me the bottle. And that, too, to this day, gives me tremendous chizuk that...
Usually the Rebbe gives out the bottles.
Shluchim.
Yeah, it's for shluchim or other haskanim. Yeah,
Went for shluchim. So
For
that was
shluchim.
my moment of the Rebbe said, I'm a shliach.
Like, all these stories, it gives so much validation, not just I'm free, but I feel like also, like when I'm free tells these stories over, and someone like me who wants to become a singer eventually, I mean, like as a parnasa, it gives me chizuk too.
Without saying
And you were a bacher then, right?
I was a bacher. I remember walking away and I was like, what? They ever gave me a bottle? I was like blown away. Didn't say a word. Hatzlacha, negina, nothing. Not a word. But I took it to mean that it was a shnas hakel. Yes. So the Rebbe gave me a bottle. Every concert is a hakel. So take it, you know. And I took it to every concert. I gave it out to people.
I feel like Memches is like the beginning when you took off, right? Is that accurate?
Took off? What do you mean?
I'm saying like the concerts and it's around that
I
time?
started Mem Aleph.
Oh, okay, so I'm
So
off.
it was already a couple of years that I was singing. But anything particular happened in Memches that took off? I think nicht. Anyway, so, but that was a moment that, of course, I cherish to this day. They were giving me a bottle. It's pretty amazing.
So what's the message for those? I mean, there's many people that are shluchim and mashpim and the kli kodesh and everything like that, but there are those that are not and have a different profession. What's the message that you have based on what you experienced from the Rebbe, you know, and utilizing it for as a shlichus and as a fatzas mayanis and as a fatzas yadus? Like, what is the?
I'm not following your question.
Saying what is something that? What is this message that the Rebbe was giving you that?
With the bottle?
No, in general to utilize your keshreinis.
Yeah.
For to fulfill the tafkid of Derher b'tachtenim.
Yeah.
What's your message for other people that are in a similar situation?
Everyone has a talent. Everyone has a talent. As we know the famous saying, if you could teach Aleph, teach Aleph. Everyone has a talent. And don't play humble that, I'm not so talented, I don't have what to offer. Everyone has a talent. Everyone has a gift that you could use to be mekadev another yid. Whatever that might be, you know what you have. And use it. Use it. Don't squander your gift. Chaval. I happen to have a gift, a matana that's global. So okay, so that's why I'm talking to you, because I'm a global guy. But every teacher who's not on a global level has, you know, the great chus to teach and be mekadev and inspire. You know, that's use your talent. Even though you might not be getting interviewed on the Derher, on a podcast, but do what you got to do. You have a talent.
100%.
Use it.
100%.
Use it. Otherwise, it's just squandering hashgacha pratis.
Okay. I had a question that I guess is more trivial, but I heard it's connected to the Rebbe. Is your song Rifa'enu, is that connected to
No.
the Rebbe? That's not true.
No.
Okay, I needed to get that out of the way.
No.
Because I once met Mordechai David, and I asked him if everyone says that Rashi, his song about Rashi, is something that he heard from the Rebbe. He told me also that's not accurate.
Ugh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it keeps freezing, but let me just go back here.
Because I met.
What's it called? Just so let it load for a little bit. Keep commenting, put comments below so I can give you guys shout outs and Q and answer all your questions, both in this topic or Jewish music or just in general, so we can keep the comments flowing. Also, we're nearing the end of the podcast, so this is your last chance to give the comments in the live chat so I could interact with you guys, because that's the main point of the live stream.
I once met Mordechai David, and I asked him if Everyone says that Rashi, his song about Rashi, is something that he heard from the Rebbe. He told me also that's not accurate.
Okay, good. It's good that you verify this stuff because
Yeah,
get out there and bet na ganze meise.
Yeah, so no. Okay, and you're saying that there's plans to do more Nigun Chabad.
Bezer Hashem.
Also, another thing that another connection with Lubavitch and your singing is that the recording of the Rebbe's Kapitel, Ki Gadol Ata, is also done by you.
Yes, yeah, but that was way back. That was way back. Yeah, I had the chus to be part of that for a while. Then I decided to retire from that.
Oh, you did a few of them?
VAD. No, I was on the VAD. I was on the VAD of choosing, and it didn't last too long.
That was really cool.
But I did get to do Ki Gadol Ata. Yeah, I remember the whole year we sang that nigun. That was our first nigun of the Farbrengens. The Kapitel that was chosen, that was the song for the whole year.
Until I think
some songs were better than others, and they're about to sit, go through. That was it.
I think later in Anaf on the Bass, I think it changed to like Social Zayn the Geula.
Yeah, I mean the early years when Talashevsky, Allah Shalom, would take old nigunim and put it to the Tripsukim. Those are very popular till today. Those are very popular. B'cha Hashem Chasisi and Kielikim Yushiatzian and Tranenas Vasa, all these. They worked. They Behuda, yeah, they worked. It was a good. He was a good shadchan.
He's the one that always did it.
I think so.
Interesting.
He was Rebbe's chazan, baltfila, menagen, shtech tzibur.
He's the one. I'm saying he's always doing Shei Banda. He's always doing.
Yeah, exactly. Baras chus.
I spent some time with him too.
Oh, yeah.
He used to drive me to. He used to make a minyan by Michal Teitelbaum.
Right.
So I was one of the boys that would go every day to make a minyan.
Nice, good for you.
He's fine push.
So did this chus beistehen?
Yeah.
Nice. That and then now it's already a popular area, but back then
Flatbush, yeah.
Flatbush. Back then it was uncharted territory for Chabad, right? Michal was there alone. Exactly.
It was the shul and the mikveh
she had there. Yeah.
And Meshach Talshevsky would.
I remember that Michal. By Rosenfeld, all the Torah, my principal. Rabbi Rosenfeld was not my age, quite older than me.
You're talking about Yassel?
Yeah. But I have memories of Elter Chassidim who were nice to me, and Elter Chassidim who didn't say a word to me. But those who did made a very warm impression, in my heart. Rabbi Rosenfeld was one of them. He would call me from time to time, and he would say, Avraham, the Chabad Nigunim, you're making it famous in the whole world. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. I have very few pictures in my office of performances or people. I don't put that on the walls or on. I have a few pictures of Elter Chassidim who weren't kind to me. One is Rabbi Yossel Roosevelt giving me a big hug and a kush at one of the dinners or something. And then another picture of the Elter Chassid, and I forget his name, Ramotl the Sheikhet, who used to daven in Chevre Shas with Rabbi Gerari. After he would come to my concerts. He was in his 90s. He was a big fan. He would come to my concerts.
We just had a picture of him in Derher. There was.
Oh yeah.
He wrote an article about Mitchell Kogan.
Okay.
So in there we had a picture of the Matl in Russia before he came here.
Nice. So the picture of him kissing my hand after a concert. Those are two chassidim I have in my office that are hanging in my office. And Mendel Futterfass was nice to me. He would say, Tanya.
Yeah.
I mean, what it means for a young bacher. Have Elter Chassid say, I listen to your music. Precious, priceless.
I kind of had that same experience when people give me feedback on whether it's the music videos or the music reactions or the Shas Avraham videos, and I hear Yuval Stupil, Avram Fried's manager, saying, "Oh, I watch your reactions," or Eighth Day saying, "Oh, my kids watch your Shas Avraham videos." It means so much. Or Shlomo Simcha, hours of me posting a song about him, about reacting to one of his songs. He sends his nephew, I think, or whatever, sends me a video of him watching it. It's like, whoa, it's so much.
Then those who didn't acknowledge or say a word to me. But those who did,
From what
Very nice.
I've heard of the Mendel Futterfast, it sounds right.
oh,
I think he had
very Tanya. Yeah, so these are people who made an impression, even though they were much older. Mentioned all the Torah, so Rabbi Rosenfeld and Michal. It's nice to be acknowledged by an elder statesman.
Yeah, who are the teachers then in Altera?
My teachers was Rabbi Lachaim Reitblatt, Rabbi Reitzes,
This is Mamish the
Rabbi Engel.
This is the beginning. I had Rabbi Engel too.
Rabbi but much later.
I'm a little younger than you. A few years.
Rabbi Engel, yeah, 'cause he taught for many years. Then he moved to Pittsburgh, right? He moved.
I don't think he's alive.
No, I understand, but he.
Oh, afterwards, yeah, maybe.
After.
Yeah.
Rabbi Vyshetsky, all the Rabbi Yisrael Friedman was already in the Zal. Pinchas Pinyakorv. Then and then a Zal Rabbi Majeski came along, Rabbi Shlomo Majeski, right from the younger.
He was a younger Mashpim.
The younger Mashpim started Rabbi Galitsky. Yeah, I mean, the cream of the crop.
Yeah. All right. So, Eshekech, I think people will have hana
I hope so.
from this conversation.
Hope inspire. Kum wie du bist, aber kum. That's the best inspiration.
I don't know. In one of the camps this summer, I think on Israel Detroit made a camp song about it as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's entering multiple
Good.
forms of the Nigina.
Good.
I'll have to check it out, but only after Sphira.
You have something to do with that.
I hope so.
All right, Yashakayach, and I guess we can say, since you're a shliach, Yarich Yam Mamlachte, Dave Gebnin, they should be able to do it for a very long time. And for one, I was at an event, one of the Meisters made an event that you were singing at. I was blown away by the fact that your voice is aging like fine wine. So,
but the bracha to keep singing for many more years, but the subject, the attitude should change. That should be part of your bracha. Instead of singing about Ad Mosai, we should be singing about finally Baruch Haba Melech HaMashiach. The text should change.
And you even have a song already.
I'm ready. We're ready for
to
Mashiach.
go.
We're ready to roll.
Okay.
Ready to go.
It should be taken from Yad Mamish.
Amen. And you're Geula, right? Because what's the chilek between Golus and Geula?
The Aleph. Okay.
In Golus Hertman. Geula is mit der Heden. Mit der Heden. So you should have Atzlacha in your shlichus. Man soll sicher sein, man soll singen und man soll der Heden singen.
Amen. Yashakech. Chaim.
Nice. All right. There's no more comments? All right, guys. That was great. It was interesting. I mean, it was a pretty simple interview. It wasn't like something overwhelming, but there was really great stories, more insight on his shluchus and his background. But listen, simple's good. If there's a live stream, as much as you guys want me to crash out in these streams, all about like why I hate stuff or singers or whatever, like even though I don't really know, but the point is, I like these. Just sit down and watch and enjoy. And thank you for those who commented and interacted and joined along. And please stay tuned for after Tisha B'Av for more reactions. Check out our new episode of the Previous Podcast that came out this past Motzei Shabbos with Dov Bernidus, the space rabbi himself. Check out that episode. I don't have necessarily an episode in the pipeline, but there's a lot of people that I'm planning to interview. Emir Hashem. So we just have to record it and put it out. There might be one this week. Try to work on that. But yeah, stay tuned. And also we're going to have our live stream again on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. And also another thing, next week will be a little iffy because I'm going to New York and to Monsey for a little bit and for the Kiddush HaMechanachim. So, but stay tuned. We're still going to put out some stuff out, so stay tuned for that. And as I usually say, I think that's it for today. Have a wonderful, stupendous day. Live, Uzi, Uzi. live for you to join along. Live, Uziel's live for you to join along.